Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just going to give you some quick thoughts on some books that I have finished recently. I think I finished all these in the month of November, or not in the month of November, but in the month of December, but I'm not sure. I think these are all December reads, but I haven't been keeping track. I've just been reading books and not really paying attention to when months end and begin as far as book reading. So, a book that I read a few weeks ago, I think I read it a few weeks ago, yeah, was Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And I mentioned this before because I am a big fan of the show, and I think I included it in one of my last videos. I hadn't started it yet, but I had bought it. So this is a TV show on HBO, and I actually watched the show first, and then when I looked up the show, I realized that it was a book, and then I had to get the book because the show was excellent. I love the show. But yeah, and the book, honestly, just as good as the show. My only complaint, and I wouldn't even say a complaint, it's just different, honestly. Of course, it's going to be different than the show. A few of the details are different. I think in the show takes place in California, but all of her books seem to take place in Australia. But quick synopsis of this book and the show in general is it's kind of like an intertwining of lives between three women, and there's some elementary school drama as far as their kids go, and then you see throughout the story that each of their lives are sort of intertwined, and yeah, there's a big kaboom in the end. But yeah, really excellent book. Sorry if that's like a really crappy synopsis, but yeah, I'm trying to get this done quickly while baby over here is happy. But yeah, basically, great show, great book. I knew I would love it because I have recently become a Liane Moriarty fan. So if you like any of her books, definitely pick this up and watch the show as well because I loved it. It's one of those that I didn't think I was going to like because it seemed sort of seemed kind of like a Real Housewives type scenario, and I've never watched that because I've never been interested in that. But I think probably much juicier and better, and just better acting, I think, in general. Because there's some big names in the show. The actress that plays the main character, not from Hunger Games, but that other one. What's that other one? Now I wish I hadn't even brought it up. What is it? Oh, the book and the movie with factions. The main chick from there. I know I'm being so specific right now. And Nicole Kidman is in it, and just a lot of big actors and actresses that made the show really good. And yeah, the book's really great too. Alright, the next book that I read was Orange is the New Black, and that's a memoir by Piper Kerman. Again, another show. I've watched all the seasons so far of Orange is the New Black. I love it, like so many other people. And then, I saw the book at the library, and I had to pick it up and see if it was as good as the show. Now, I will say, as far as entertainment goes, the show is better. But, that's sort of to be expected because this is a memoir. It's not really meant to be that entertaining. Not in the same level that a juicy TV show is. But, that's what the show's based off of, is the book. And I guess I don't want to compare them because they're different enough. The book and the show are different enough where they aren't really comparable, at least as far as entertainment value goes. The book was good. A lot of the details are different, and that's understandable because you have to change names and stuff. And I was trying in my mind for a little while to keep track and see if I could find the correlation between some of the TV characters and then some of the characters in the books, but I couldn't. You have to forget about the show if you're going to enjoy the book. Now, what I did like about it is it talks about, just the problems that we have in the American prison system. Really gets you thinking on that. I kind of want to read more about it since reading the Orange is the New Black, just because I want to know more about it. I think most of us know that prisons in the United States are not really focused on rehab. Most of them aren't. Rehabilitation to go back into society. It's really about, you know, the institution, and people get institutionalized and they don't really get help with their problems or get the basic care that they need. Because if you want, my big thing that I got from this book, and I already thought this anyways, was if you want people to come back into society and act like decent human beings, to an extent you have to treat them like decent human beings. I mean, that's sort of a given, but I feel like we forget that. I know I forget that. You get hung up on maybe the crime and not realize there's a person behind it, that, you know, we make mistakes and some people's mistakes are bigger than others. Of course, some crimes, you know, are not maybe they're less forgivable. I definitely feel that way. But in general, you know, like I said, if you want a decent human being to come back into society, you have to treat them humanely and decently, and you have to help them be able to function once they leave the institution of prison, or, you know, things like that. So that's my takeaway, and I want to read more about that subject. Now, the last book that I have finished recently is Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. I really enjoyed this book. This is a big booktube book. I think most people there have been watching booktube for any length of time, probably at least familiar with this cover. I know I was. So I just grabbed it at the library for just that reason. And then, of course, I read the back as well to see if it would be something maybe that I would be interested in. And it was. So what Everything is about is a girl who has basically lived her whole life inside of her house, she's basically like a modern day bubble boy or bubble girl. She is apparently sick and allergic to everything. So if she leaves her house, she could literally die. But things change a little bit when a handsome young neighbor moves in and they start communicating, and that changes everything. Yeah, this is an excellent book, and there's a twist, and I love that there's a twist to this. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to give any sort of spoilers away. I'm not really good at figuring out what is exactly a spoiler and what isn't, you know. So I don't want to give too much away, but Everything, excellent book. I loved it. So yeah, pretty good. The last 3 books that I've read, pretty great. If you've read them, comment and tell me what you thought of them, especially Orange is the New Black, if you have any thoughts on that book as compared to the show. And let me know what you're reading right now. I don't know if I'll get another video up before the new year, so I hope everyone has a great new year, you know, whatever you do, if you celebrate that or if you don't. I usually don't. I don't ascribe much meaning to the new year because time is just time and it goes by. But I hope everyone has a great new year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.